Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Tech Help Club. Today we will discuss on aggregate interface. What is aggregate interface on FortiGate Firewall? So it is a logical interface that combines multiple physical interfaces into a single logical link. This technique is also known as a link aggregation or bundling, which allows for increased bandwidth and provides redundancy in case of one physical link fails. So by aggregating links, we can distribute the traffic across the multiple links based on the load balancing policies. So let's begin. So this is our topology. Here I am using one FortiGate firewall. Port 1 is connected to the management interface through which we can take a GUI access of this firewall, and port 4 is connected to our WAN appliance or the ISP router, which gives IP either statically or dynamically to our FortiGate firewall. And on the left hand side we have two ports, port 2 and port 3, which we will use as a aggregate link and bundle these two ports to make it work as a one ether channel. And on the other side we have a L2 switch having port E0/3 and E0/1. We will bundle these two ports on this side so that it will form aggregate link between this switch and this firewall. Let me power on all the devices. Our WAN appliance will take some time to boot up. Meantime, we have to do some configuration on switch side and on the FortiGate side. Let me open the switch first. So we have to bundle these two ports E0/3 and 0/1. You can bundle it in access port or maybe in trunk port. So it's on you. So let me bundle it in trunk port. So go to the config terminal and let me do it simultaneously both the port. Rather to do it individual, we can use one command called interface range, and let me check what is our ports E0/3 and E0/1. Range E0/1 and E0/3. So here I am in the range now, and let me make it switch port trunk encapsulation .1q. Hit enter. Switch port mode trunk. Hit enter. And now let me enable the channel protocol. So we have it two protocols, one is LACP and another one is PACP. So link aggregation control protocol is the open standard protocol, so I am using that one. Otherwise, if you have a Cisco devices, you can use other protocol. So let me give the channel group number. So you can give any number from 1 to 255. Let me give it 1. And mode active. So active will work, active passive will also work, but passive will not work. So I have made this range or this channel group forcefully to the active mode. So that is it. Now no shutdown, and that is it. Let me exit it and write the configuration. To write, here we go. And now to check the ether channel, we have a command ether channel summary. Here you can see we have two ports in a bundle E0/1 and E0/3 having a flag SS, which means it's suspended as of now, but once we will do the configuration on the other side, it will change to U in use. So I will show you later after configuring my firewall end configuration. Now let's move to firewall configuration. So firewall By default, the username is admin and hit enter. You don't need to put any password initially. It will ask you to configure new password. And now show system interface question mark. You will see it's already taking IP on port 1 DSCP mode from this pool 192.168.111.130, so which is connected to our management. So we will take GUI access through this IP. So let me copy this IP here. Here you can see I'm not able to log in it. Why so? Because it's a VM environment. It will take some time to take the GUI access. So just later on, and don't show it. Okay. And now you have to do some configuration at the FortiGate level. You have to make these two in a aggregate link. So let's go to, first of all, let me change the ideal timeout, otherwise it goes logout. Here by default it's 5 minutes. Let me keep it maximum, apply, that's it. Now go to the network here, interfaces, and create new interface, and give whatever name you want to give. I am giving aggregate interface, and alias name is also aggregate interface. Here type we need to select aggregate, and interface members, so 2 and port 3 are our members, so let them call out here, close. And we have to give one IP assignment here. So what is our IP? 10.01.254, which is the gateway for this user. So let me give that IP 10.0.1.254/24. At least allow ping for testing and hit OK. So that is it for these two ports. And now we are pending with port 4, so which is connected to the ISP. So click on port 4 here and give them ISP as a alias name and role WAN, and make it dynamically, and that is it. And hit ping here and hit OK. Now you will see port 4 will initialize its DORA process and will get IP after some time. Okay, so make it OK. Here you can see it's already taken IP 192.168.1.11, which is from this pool, which is providing by the ISP router. So that is it for ports. Now we have to go DNS side, configure the DNS 8.8.8.8 and 1.1.1.1. hit apply. Now we have to make the interface. One thing also you need to keep in mind, I have already discussed that thing in my previous video, the administrative distance. So in port 1 you can see we have a administrative distance 5, and same thing is there on port 4. So it's get confused where to send the traffic, right? So this is our management port, so we are not sending any traffic through this port. So we can increase the administrative distance for the port 1, so that if any traffic from user 1 goes outside, it should goes towards port 4. So forcefully I am changing this port 1 administrative distance as a 15. That is it. Now we have to configure one static route, create, and give the gateway address. Our gateway is 192.168.1.254, which is configured on the router end. So we have to make it here 192.168.1.254. It will select automatically the port. Here you can see it's automatically selected port 4. Our interface on the FortiGate firewall is the exit interface or the gateway for these users, or anything or any traffic came to this firewall, it will through to port 4. Okay, so hit OK. That is it. Now you have to configure one policy, firewall policy. By default we have a implicit deny, so everything coming to this firewall gets denied due to this policy. So we have to allow our interesting traffic. So let's create one policy and give it any name. So I am giving it allow aggregate interface to the internet. That is my policy name, and incoming interface would be aggregate interface, which is our port 2 and port 3, and outgoing interface is ISP port 4, which is this one, and source you can select whatever you want to select. Here for the testing purpose I am selecting all, but in the real world or in the companies you will not see all due to the security purpose. They always allow the interesting traffic rather to put all here. So let's close it and log all the session, and NAT should be enabled, and hit OK. So that is it on the firewall side. Now let's move on to our PC here or our topology here. Before testing, let me show you our ether channel status on the switch side now. Here you can see it's changed to P, and port channel 1 we have created, it's changed to SU. U means in use and P means it's bundled in port channel. These two ports are now bundled. Okay, so let's move on to our testing now. So we have this PC. I'm using Linux Slax machine. You can use Windows as well, or maybe Tiny Core. So go to Network Manager and check if it's getting any IP. Yeah, it's getting IP. So to configure this PC, you have to go to Property and use Static IP. This is our IP 10.01.1, 10.1.1, and this is the subnet mask, and this is our gateway 254, which is configured on the firewall here. And I am using Google DNS 8.8.8 and 1.1.1. Hit OK and close it and open the terminal and start some testing. Ping 8.8.8. Here I am able to ping the Google DNS. Now let's generate some other traffic as well from web browser, and from web browser I can access few websites. Let me open fb.com and maybe youtube.com. So here I am able to access both the sites. Let me minimize it. To show the traffic on both these ports, I have to capture this. There is a difference between aggregate port and the redundancy ports. So in the redundancy link, only one link works at a time. If one link goes down, the traffic will switch over to the next link or the next redundant link. But in the aggregate port, you will see traffic will traverse through both the port. It utilizes both the ports, depend upon all the ether channel policies or the load balancing policies. So let me capture port 2 and 3 to show you the live traffic. So port 2, let me keep it on the left side, and port 3, let me keep it on the right side so that you can easily segregate both the ports traffic. So here on the right hand side port 3, left hand side port 2, and let me open my machine or a user window. Here I am refreshing the page. You can see traffic is traversing through both the ports. Both the ports are utilizing at a time, but that you will not see in redundant interface. So that is the major difference between both. Now let me do one thing. I will shut down this interface E0/1 to see if traffic will switch over to the E0/3 or the port 2. So let me minimize it and open both the captures side by side to look it easier for you guys to understand. And let me show you the ping response as well side by side. Here, let me shut down config terminal interface Ethernet 0/1 shut down. Here we go, it's shut down, but you will not see switch over at a time because of the virtual environment. You still can see traffic is flowing through both the ports, but these are the old packets which you are currently seeing here. Let me show you the live here. Live user machine, it's not sending any traffic, right? It's stopped here. So you have to wait for some time to switch over. This is the old packet logs you are seeing here because of the virtual environment. So you have to wait like 1 minute or maybe less than 1 minute, 50 to 60 seconds. So let's wait and we will monitor both the links. Here, still it's working. Let's wait. Yeah, still it's working, and after some time it will stop on one side. I have stopped this interface. I have make it shut down E0/3. So on the right side window, capturing window, the port 3 traffic will stable or not seen. Let me open it again. Here you can see it stopped, right? Now let me open it. Yeah, here you can see ping started again, and it travels through the port 1 only, not port 2. This traffic stopped from the port 3, so it's traveling through port 2 only. Okay, so let me unshut now. No shutdown. Hit enter. Now you can see both the links are now utilizing. Let me generate some traffic again. You can see here both the links are now utilizing and sending the traffic, right? So that is the main thing here in the aggregate link. It utilizes both the links. So I think that is it for today. If you still have any doubts, you can write down me a comment. I'm very happy to help you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.